Have you ever felt like everyone was going against you? You feel like nobody wants to agree with you, or maybe nobody wants to talk with you. You feel like nobody understands what you're going through, and nobody really understands your situation. You feel alone. You feel like you can't explain yourself to anybody. But here, there's a story in the Bible where there was a king named Saul, where a prophet named Samuel came to him and anointed him to be king of Israel, to be the ruler. But see, he became rebellious before God. So God had called the prophet Samuel to go and anoint the new king, David. And Saul found out that David was anointed as king, and he saw that he will be the next one up. So he decided to kill him, and he decided to take his place from being taken. So David felt doubt, fear, and trembled. He was scared to sleep. He started to run away from his homeland. He started to hide in caves, and he felt like he couldn't explain himself to anybody. He couldn't even talk to anybody because everybody was against him. Yes, he had a few people, but even then, they didn't have a way out. They didn't have any words to encourage David. So what David did, he sang to God. He prayed to God, and God delivered him. And I'm going to read here from Psalms 18, verse 1 to verse 9, and it says, I will love thee, O Lord, my strength. The Lord is my rock and my fortress, and my deliverer, my God, my strength in whom I will trust, my buckler, and the horn of my salvation, and my high tower. I will call upon the Lord, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from my enemies. The sorrows of death compassed me, and the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. The sorrows of hell compassed me about. The snares of death prevented me. In my distress I called upon the Lord, and cried unto my God. He heard my voice out of his temple, and my cry came before him, even into his ears. Then the earth shook and trembled. The foundations also of the hills moved and were shaken, because he was wroth. There went up a smoke out of his nostrils, and fire out of his mouth devoured. Coals were kindled by it. He bowed the heavens also, and came down, and darkness was under his feet. So we can see that the moment when David called upon and cried upon God, God intervened. God came down, it says, and put darkness under his feet. God delivered David from his enemies. Sometimes we have to do what we haven't done, and that's pray and call upon God to deliver us from our enemies, from our situations, from any negative thoughts, whatever we're battling through. He will intervene. Call upon God. He will intervene. He is our salvation, and he will deliver us. He knows what we're going through. He understands us. He understands your situation. Call upon him first. Call upon him first before anybody.